It's the accuracy of the times on the, generally speaking, on the video that we have.
Yes, sir.
And I want to read that description to yourself. And there's more, but
yes, sir.
Based upon reading that, are you comfortable that the Coyote Cafe was present in 1996?
Yes.
And the report, does it indicate that Orlando Anderson was trying to, this person in the 13 was attempting to push past security into this cafe when he was attacked?
Yes, sir.
Nothing further.
Any recross based on that, Mr. Sanft?
And I'm sorry, sir, I forgot your last name.
Ingram.
Ingram. Mr. Ingram, the report that you just read, did you author that report?
No.
Now, in terms of the report, fair to say the report is basically reflecting what's found on the videos that's been provided by the state.
I'm sorry, I lost track. What?
The videos that we watched earlier, is that what's in the report?
Yes.
So, in essence, the jury can see the report for them, or see the videos for themselves to determine what was happening in terms of actions and what people were doing, right?
I don't know if that's completely accurate. There are things that are in report that are written by like eyewitness that you can't see on video.
Sure. Now, the report itself, do you know who wrote it?
I do not.
Do you know if that person had the same training and experience that you have here today talking to this jury?
I do not.
And in terms of the report itself, is it a standard report that would have been drafted back in those days?
Yes, sir.
All right. And there would have been somebody who would have supervised that report, I would assume, and reviewed it?
Yes, sir.
Do you know who it is in this document?
Who the
The
supervisor?
supervisor is.
I don't know who the manager at the time was.
All right. Once again, not you. You were 12, right? Okay.
Yeah, yes.
I have no further questions. Thank you.
Just briefly. Mr. Sanft said that only what was seen on the video is in this report, but there's actually a description of what what the person in number 13 was doing before we can see it in video, if you read the first.
Yes, he... Yes, sir.
This is a document that appears to be authored by somebody who was present and confronting Mr. Anderson from security as he was trying to get into the Coyote Cafe when he was attacked, and then we see on video kind of the remnants of that attack, but not the beginning of it, correct?
Your Honor, I'm sorry. I'm just going to object to that question.
Well, he opened the door with that question by
Leading?
saying...
What's your response on leading?
Oh, that's the leading? Okay. Read the first 4 lines of the report. I'll rephrase my
Okay, so it's the same. You may rephrase.
Read the beginning of the report.
On Sunday, August 7th, 1996, at approximately 8:50 p.m., this officer was in the elevator core when I noticed a BMA wearing a sports jersey force his way past the officers.
Your Honor, at this particular point, I'm going to object as this is hearsay, and there's no exception to this particular statement being brought in.
Okay, your response on that one?
2 things. 1, he opened the door by claiming this report only says it's that. 2, it's a report generated at the time by the person who witnessed it, and it is a record of the MGM from MGM in 1996, all of which would qualify for admissibility.
Your Honor, maybe approach.
Sure. All right, overruled. This the statement is not being offered for its truth. Instead, it's being offered to rebut the idea that the only thing that the report contains is viewable on the video, and the jury is to consider it for such.
If you could just, I guess, start over. Start at the beginning there and stop at the point you get to this person in New Jersey getting attacked.
On Sunday, August 7th of 1996 at approximately 8:50 p.m., this officer was in the elevator core when I noticed a BMA wearing a sports jersey force his way past the officers. Chelsea, I can't read the first name, Muniz Roberts, at the North Key checkpoint by Coyote Cafe. The unidentified BMA was questioned by myself and officer. Your screen went black.
Oh, sorry. I love technology.
Mm-hmm.
Your Honor, maybe approach again while Mr. Giacomo was working on technology.
With Mr. Claus? Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead. I think you were at officers whose name you couldn't quite figure out.
The unidentified BNL was questioned by myself and Officer Gamba on the side of Coyote Cafe. The BMA was very uncooperative on answering our questions. While questioning the BMA, he continually kept looking over his shoulder towards the North Key checkpoint. It was seconds thereafter when I noticed a large group of BMAs force their way through the North Key checkpoint. The large group of BMAs, approximately 20, were running right in our directions. As they got close to, when I got close to the BMA that was being questioned, started to run south towards the elevator core. Around 5 or 6 BMAs from the group caught up with the single BMA, grabbed him, punched him, and knocked him to the.
That's probably far enough. Okay. Thank you, sir. I have no more questions.
Okay, Mr. Sanft, anything else based on that? I guess that'd be recross.
No, Your Honor, but with regards to my discussions with the state, I'm going to move for the admission of that particular page that was read into the record.
Any objection by the state?
I don't. There's a second page. Do you want to read it all first and then make a decision? Is it the first page or both pages?
Is it bad, the second page?
At least page 1 will be admitted. Page 2 is still up in the air. But would that be next in line for the state, or do you want it as defense exhibit, Mr. Sanft?
This will be defense exhibit B, Your Honor.
Okay, so that'll be admitted as defense exhibit B. We'll hold tight to see if you want 1 or 2 pages. How many pages?
Potentially 2, but right now,
Okay.
yeah.
Let my clerk know.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
So nothing further.
Nothing further to do.
Any questions from the jury for Mr. Ingram? We do have at least one. Okay, can I have the parties approach? All right, a question from one of our juries. Do you know where the person or officer who wrote the report at MGM from the security team witnessed the person in the jersey by Coyote Cafe?
Can you restate that for me one more time?
I can try, or I can read it again.
Yes, ma'am.
Where is the officer or person who wrote the report at MGM from the security team witnessing the person in the jersey by Coyote Cafe?
Oh, on the map, it's located, the entrance, the specific entrance, whether it's,
You think maybe you should stand up and do it on the big ones?
Yes,
so you can
ma'am.
understand that.
so from what I could read, the entrance into the cafe is located here. Into the Coyote Cafe, so this would be where the initial stop and talk by the security personnel would have occurred at.
And do you know where the person who wrote the report was seeing that person in the jersey from?
From that specific location. So he or she, I'm not sure the exact person, but the security describes that they're at the position and someone tries to push past, in which case they approach and stop and talk at the entrance of the cafe itself.
Okay. And then as to the second part of that question, I'm not going to ask because that's not something that he would know why that decision was made. State, did you want any follow-up based on that question?
You didn't recognize the name of the author of that particular report, correct?
Correct.
And you have no idea what happened to that person in the last 30 years in their lives, whether they're alive, dead, locatable, anything like that.
No knowledge.
Thank you.
Mr. Sam?
Yes, Your Honor, just a couple more quick points. So I want to be sure I'm clear. Did the MGM during that time period have those booths set up where you couldn't go to the elevators unless you had a room key or something? Is that what we're talking about in terms of a checkpoint?
The checkpoint is, it's not a physical location as much as it's a security position where they would check room keys to get into an area.
So if the report is saying someone was trying to push through, they're trying to go past that area into the elevator area? I mean, where are they going?
That's the direction that he travels. The security report states he tries to get into the cafe, and then when he's approached by the large group of males, he runs towards that checkpoint. So he's trying to get out or through the elevator core down into, or wherever he decides he's trying to go, but that's the checkpoint. That little, looks like a telephone next, correct. That's where he's trying to get.
All right, so, but the report's kind of weird, right? Because it's not saying that he's trying to go into the Coyote Cafe. He's actually trying to go through a checkpoint or an area. I think that's what you read, right?
I would have to reread it again, but I believe he tried to get into Coyote Cafe first.
Okay, so he's going, there's a ton of people, they're all leaving the fight, and for some reason, him going into the Coyote Cafe causes security to go after him?
If it's closed or if it's blocked for a private party, I'm not exactly sure, honestly, why they would do it.
I see. So, I mean, but outside of that, your idea as to why the Coyote Cafe would not be open to this particular individual in the Merino jersey would have been because it's closed for a private function or closed completely.
Correct.
Okay. No further questions, John.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Ingram, you are excused at this time.
Sorry, Judge, can I have one follow-up to that?
Oh, okay.
Or the cafe's overcrowded and they're stopping people from going in.
Correct.
Thank you.
Okay, now you're free to go.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, at this time we're going to take a 10-minute restroom break. During the recess, you are admonished not to talk or converse amongst yourselves or with anyone else on any subject connected to the trial, or read, watch, or listen to any report or commentary on the trial of any person connected to this case by any medium of information, including without limitation, newspaper, television, the internet, and radio, or form or express any opinion on any subject connected with the trial until the case is submitted to you. We'll see you guys back here at 11:15. Please rise for the jury. Jury is outside of the room. Anything we need to address outside the presence?
Well, I'll work with the state with regards to the last proposed defense exhibit.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
And then let my clerk know what pages you wanted, or give it to her, actually.
Yes, ma'am.
You're going to have to print that out, I guess. We'll be in recess. Okay, back on record in State versus Davis, C377407. Anything we need to address before bringing the jury back in?
No, you are.
Let's bring them in. Please rise.
Rise for the jury.
Do the parties stipulate to the presence of the jury?
Yes, sure.
You may all be seated. State, you may call your next witness.
Kenneth Rios.
Do solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. You may be seated. And sir, if you please state your full name and then spell it for the record.
Kenneth Rios, Kennethrios.
Thank you, Mr. Rios. Mr. DiGiacomo, you may proceed whenever you're ready.
Thank you. Sir, how did you used to be employed?
I was employed as I retired as a Las Vegas sergeant for Las Vegas Metro Police.
And how long were you with Metro?
28 years.
And when did you start?
April 17th, 1990.
May direct your attention to September 7th of 1996 at about 9 p.m.-ish in that area. Where were you working?
I was working as uniform patrol at the MGM Hotel.
At that time, did you learn of a situation that occurred in the elevator section of the MGM?
Yes, I did.
And did you respond over to that location?
Yes, I did.
And did you have contact with an individual wearing a Dan Marino number 13 jersey?
Yes, I did.
I'm going to play a little video for you. Can we go back, Tommy?
And this is 115B. And I gotta play it with the other program. I don't know why. I'm gonna back up just a little bit here. When you come in. Started right about here. You let us know when you see yourself.
I see myself.
All right. And which of the three officers we have on scene there are you?
One with the dark hair. My back, well, it was dark back then. My back is towards the camera facing the gentleman that has the Merino jersey on.
Eventually, we watched this video. You have a conversation with this individual, correct?
Yes, I did.
And at that time, did you ask him to identify himself?
Yes, I did.
How did he identify himself?
He identified himself through a California driver's license, which security had in their possession and gave to me.
Back then, this is just the fight call and he's the victim, correct?
We thought he was a victim, yes.
And so, did you talk to him about whether or not he wished to press charges or be involved? Describe that for us.
Yes, I asked him first if he needed medical assistance, and he refused. He said he was fine. I then asked him what happened, and he told me basically that a couple of guys that he didn't know jumped him. And once again, I asked him if he needed medical. He said no. I asked if he wanted to file a report, and he said no.
At that point, was he released and free to go on his way?
Yes, he was.
Later on that evening, did you learn about a shooting involving Tupac Shakur?
Yes, I did.
And then were you asked to then draft a report as to what your interaction was with Mr. Anderson?
Yes, I was.
And at that time, what name did you remember for Mr. Anderson?
It was Orlando. I remember his first name.
Is it anything unusual that when a victim gets attacked and doesn't want to press charges or write a report, for you not to have written a report that night?
No, it's not. Basically, if you don't have a victim, you don't have a crime, as we put it, which isn't necessarily true. You always have a crime. But if you don't have a victim, the chances of prosecution, you won't get any information, and so we don't take a report if the victim refuses.
It's only afterwards, the incident that occurs a couple hours later, you then go back from memory and write down what you recall from this incident.
Yes, I did.
And you were able to remember his first name as Orlando.
Yes.
Nothing further.
Cross, Mr. Sanft?
Mr. Rios,
Yes, sir.
did you review anything in your preparation for your testimony here today?
Yes, I did.
What did you review?
I reviewed my officer's report. I reviewed my memory. I reviewed also the last statement that I gave, I believe was to the grand jury a few years ago.
Okay. And I would assume that prior to your testimony to the grand jury, you reviewed your officer's report back then even,
Yes, yes, I did.
prior to testifying in front of the grand jury?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Make sure we're clear here. You wrote that report. That's in the normal course of your duties as a police officer.
Yes, sir.
No exception to in terms of you conducting your business as a police officer that you don't ever write a report.
No, there's some instances where I may not write a report.
Sure. Can you tell us what those instances are?
Not offhand, because it's been so long. You don't write a report for everything that you do. Everything's recorded in some way through the computer or through dispatch, I'm sure. But to sit down and write a formalized report on all my actions, no.
So in terms of all your actions, are you saying, like, for instance, if you get up out of your cubicle and you go into your sergeant's office to talk about fantasy football, oh, no, that wouldn't have been back then, talk about the game between the Bears and the, Chargers, we're not talking about that kind of documentation, right?
Right, I would never talk about the bearers, but yes.
Okay. And there we go. And in terms of the way, though, you would handle, like, for instance, if you're doing an investigation, or in this case, you're part of an incident that occurs, a report would be drafted for something like this.
Yes and no. It would just depend. It would depend, it would depend on some factors. In this case, there was no victim. He refused any kind of help. But it was worth noting because of his involvement.
Yeah. And so the state had asked you a question specifically as to when you wrote your report. You wrote it after you got off of this particular shift. Is that when you wrote your report?
I don't recall when I wrote it, but I'm sure that my officer's report would reflect that time. But I know I didn't write it immediately after.
All right. And in terms of your knowledge that Tupac Shakur had just been shot, your testimony to the jury is that you had understood at that point that potentially a person by the name of Orlando may have been something to do with that particular case.
I don't recall if that was the reason why I wrote the report, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, because I'm a little curious. Like, how do you, there's a shooting of Tupac Shakur. How do you, is it because you heard that there's a shooting up at Tupac Shakur that you go, wait a minute, there was an incident that occurred with Tupac on property? Is that how we get to this point?
Back then, I don't recall if that was the process that I went through to make the report. I don't believe so. I believe that there was some other officers that probably told me and suggested that I write a report because of his possible involvement.
Right. So news goes out throughout the valley, Tupac has been shot, and then you're advised, hey, there was something happening here, Tupac, just capture whatever it is that you remember, right?
I don't recall that happening that way, but for most intents purposes.
Right. Now, in terms of your report and you writing it, you're still on property when you hear that this incident had occurred with Tupac Shakur.
I don't recall where I was at the time.
Okay. Would you have ever called back to the MJ and say, hey, capture more video of this particular incident and the guy with the Merino jersey, the night of the shooting, to help them with whatever investigation could be out there? Did you do that?
Not that I recall, no.
Do you know of anyone else among the 3 officers that were there, or any other officers would have done something like that?
I have no idea.
Okay. Maybe they're all Bears fans, and that's the reason why they didn't do that.
It could be.
Yep. Let me ask you this, though. In terms of your this particular night, extra officers show up as overtime. They work overtime. Is that what this is?
Yes, sir.
All right. And they're doing it for a special event, right?
Yes, sir.
And in this case, this special event was the Tyson fight.
Yes, sir.
All right. In terms of the amount of people in Las Vegas, I would imagine there would have been a lot.
A lot of people?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
We see video showing, obviously, a lot of people at the MGM.
Yes, sir.
And would it just be the MGM where the fight was taking place, or would that be throughout the Strip?
No, there'd be officers on other properties.
Yeah. And once again, these officers are on there because of the anticipated flow of people coming into Las Vegas for this special event.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I have no further questions for you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Anything further, Mr. DiGiacomo?
No, Judge.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, any questions for this witness? We have at least one. May I have participants? All right, a question from one of our jurors. After an incident like that, is it customary to not follow the people who did the assault? Is it common for everyone to stay with who you thought was the victim?
My position at that time, yes, it would be to stay with the victim because we had already radioed two other officers that were on scene,
Okay.
and as well as the MGM security had radioed to their officers up front. So it would have been my responsibility to stay with the victim to make sure that he wasn't in dire need of medical assistance or still wanted to file a report.